ACDC really has given me the opportunity to be creative in all of my projects and things that I've done for things like choir and theater. It makes you think, okay, how can we make this good not just for ourselves and make it a good experience for ourselves, but how can we appeal to the people who are watching?
ACDC, at least from an interior perspective, is probably one of the larger houses. And although you have people in there who want to be a singer or who want to be a news broadcaster, there's also just a lot of people who are in here because they have a passion for one of the fine arts. It's different because I feel like it's more of a family.
I think being in a house like ACDC really puts me in, it provides me with the company of people that are artistically and intellectually similar to myself. And I think their presence really helps me realize that, that maybe it's the right thing to do.
It's connection between all the members of the house. It doesn't matter whether you're in band or theater or choir or film. There are so many people that just connect so easily, because of our close involvement with each other.
Go with what your passion is, because these teachers are gonna understand and support you.
ACME really is a community where you're not only just trying to pursue your goals and you have a place to, but you have other people to work together with and that can help you with whatever you need.
I'll be honest, whenever I first came here, separating into houses was completely foreign to me. It was just, everyone's just this big, huge high school. But the difference that I see between those high schools and this one separating into houses is that whenever you feel like you're a part of the house, you feel like you belong to something. And a lot of those other high schoolers, you just feel like you're just walking the hallways, and it doesn't really matter because you're just trying to graduate, but here you feel like you're part of that organization.
I've had a big interest in engineering since I was really little. I've enjoyed putting things together and taking things apart. And I enjoy working with electronics, and so I thought ACME would be the best fit for me.
ACME is architecture, construction, manufacturing, and engineering, and it is just those four things, but it's so much more than that.
Through joining the Habit House, I've had the opportunity to join computer science and take advantage of the multitude of opportunities it has given me. Computer science is like learning a new language, except you're not speaking with another person or anything along those lines. You're speaking with your computer. You're learning how to communicate with your computer and tell it to do things that you can't just verbally tell it to do.
Whenever I started sophomore year, I was kind of just looking at different classes to take throughout the year and electives, and I was just joined Habit because I knew I was kind of interested in business. And I started taking graphic design with Miss Jennings. She actually told me, she was like, you should join DECA, I have a lot of kids that do that. And so we started doing DECA and we competed sophomore year, and I loved it. I think Habit is one of the best decisions you can ever make because it's so much fun. It's got so many different things you can be involved in.
All these ag teams, they help you make friends, and then you go to competitions where you learn about your field. There's a lot more to the agricultural program than just classes. There are teams, there are involved community service projects that we have through FFA. I mean, it's really diverse. There's so many things you can do. It's so broad that you're bound to find a place if you go into Habit.
If you have any interest in agricultural business or information technologies, I believe the Habit is the right house for you. It gives you a platform to expand yourself and learn new things that other houses can't teach you.
The Med's house can pretty much lead to a bunch of different careers in the medical field. A lot of people just think of doctors, but the medical field is just so much more. And the Med's house really prepares you for that variety and really exposes you to it, because not a lot of people know about it going into the Med's house. And so whenever they are actually exposed to these different fields within their different medical classes, they're able to really make a decision on what they want to do when they're older as a future career.
I've taken all the classes, so I'll be graduating with medical honors. And I am going to the program in WEC which is part of NTI for the dental assisting program.
I think one thing that the Meds House really encouraged was AP and pre-AP classes, just because whenever you go to medical school or field that you want to pursue in the medical field, you're going to have to take a lot of different classes, and the coursework's going to be very difficult sometimes. And so whenever you challenge yourself through these AP or pre-AP classes, it kind of gets you ready and gives you an early insight into what you're going to be facing later on in your career path.
You can discover all types of careers. Anything. It's not just being a doctor, it's not just being a surgeon, it's not just being a nurse. There's so many others out there that people don't even realize, and through HOSA and through student athletic training that I'm participating in right now, those two really have been huge factors in helping me get down that path. But it definitely has taught me a lot of not just skills in that specific career, but life skills as well.
Feds is just a service house, and if you want to go into like being a police officer or being a teacher, all the people in there will just help you figure out what you want to do. I'm in the Feds house and I'm in clothing management, which helps me recognize different types of fabrics and techniques I can use when sewing and learning about different types of clothing.
Debate has been essentially my only extracurricular for the last 2 years. I'm involved in all of its aspects, from student congress to mock trial to just general competition. And I'd say it's given me almost a family and a place of being at Har-Ber. We receive new topics every month and every other month for the two styles of debate we focus on. And most recently, one has had to do with reporters' privileges and their rights to conceal information. So basically just giving us that access to the world and the problems that face it today.
In teaching orientation, we make lesson plans and go to Young and get to teach the class certain lessons that we make. So we go through the steps of being a real teacher. They walk us through real world experience with teaching us how to go through lesson plans and how to make student activities and different types of works and presentations.
A lot of careers correlate with this because pretty much everywhere around you there's clothing, and just clothing management and clothing, just fashion apparel. It's pretty much everywhere and in everything, so it'll just help me recognize things easier.
Feds is designed for human services.